Hi, I'm Adoni the Physics Guy here to introduce you to my YouTube channel, AdoniPhysics411. Okay, my YouTube channel, AdoniPhysics411, is dedicated to exposing the absurdities of modern physics, along with others that have attempted to expose the absurdities of modern physics, starting with Edwin Hubble. Edwin Hubble was the first to deny that his Hubble flow redshift discovery was Doppler redshift. He told everyone, if you are believing that my discovery, the Hubble flow redshift, is Doppler redshift, then you are reading too much into the redshift. But Hubble was ignored. And because he was ignored and is ignored, the physicists of today and tomorrow can never present to you a unified theory of the cosmos. They can't explain to you how gravity is generated. If you watch my channel, you will know how gravity is generated. You will know how nucleons are formed inside the cores of stars, how nucleons grew from neutrinos to their present size and form and energy, potential energy. You will discover how nucleons, how protons, how electrons, how neutrinos store both mass and energy. You will discover that the potential energy inside the neutrino sac, inside the electron sac, inside the proton sac is in the form of compressed God particle ones. God particle ones are the tiniest particle of mass in the universe. I defined it, okay? It's the tiniest particle of mass in the universe. It's the medium of electromagnetic waves. And without further ado, I give you today's talk. Welcome. Today is over the Hump Wednesday, February 2, 2022. Today we discuss part 3 of why the universe must be infinitely old. Our wonderful universe is infinitely old. But what is the relevance of that to you? What does it matter if the universe is 13.88 billion years old, or if it's infinitely old? I mean, we ain't gonna be around in a billion years, or even in a billion years, or I mean, human beings may be around for another billion years if they don't destroy themselves. So, obviously, you are wondering, why should I listen to this guy? Why does it matter if the universe, if the Big Bang occurred or not? What does it matter? What relevance does this have to you? And I can say, it has absolutely no relevance to your life at all. So the only thing you get out of it is to understand that when these learned physicists, when you run across them, when they tell you that the galaxies are not moving apart. Okay, that's what they say. The galaxies are standing still. But the space between the galaxies is growing at superluminal speeds. Okay? And that this growth of space, okay, this growth of space, now the space grows, but the galaxies stay in place. Okay? That's what you were told. The cosmos, the story of the universe, the now they admit eventually, I mean, they say we know everything that happened until 1/1,000,000th of a second before it happened, okay? We don't know how the singularity formed. But we know it did because of the Hubble flow redshift. And they took the Hubble flow redshift, which is an excellent barometer for measuring the distance that a light source was when it sent the light to us, okay? I forget the word now, but different elements have different they have different lines, so they're like fingerprints. Okay, the spectroscopy of different elements. I didn't write that word down. Okay, so scientists know the frequencies that light is emitted from a galaxy. Okay, and if those frequencies shift, they know that the light traveled. They know how far the light was when it was emitted. And the reason they know this is because they were able to determine the brightness of certain Cepheid variable stars and some supernova, okay, type 1A supernova. Okay, but it turns out that the top 1A supernova are not the perfect standard candle. The type 1A supernova, because they explode with about the same mass, explode at about 1.41 solar masses. So our sun in 5 to 7 billion years is going to leave a white dwarf remnant. And that white dwarf remnant is going to be about the size of Earth, and it's going to have 200,000 Earths packed into the volume of Earth, okay? The matter. So it's going to be 200,000 times more dense than Earth, okay? This white dwarf that our sun will leave in about 5 to 7 billion years. Okay? Now that's very dense, okay? But they can get even denser than that. A neutron star, which is much smaller, which is only about 14 miles across, okay? A neutron star, okay, is going to be 100 trillion times the density of our Earth, okay? 100 trillion times the density of our Earth, okay? Now, you ask, we still don't know why it matters if the universe is infinitely old or if it's only 13.88 billion years old, as determined by the cosmological constant or the Hubble flow redshift, okay? Well, first, Hubble, for the entirety of his life, never acknowledged that the Hubble flow redshift that he discovered was Doppler redshift. What that means is there is not a physical separation. If it's Doppler redshift, then it means that the galaxies are getting farther apart. Okay. Now, physicists will admit that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, except they say that space can spring into being. at the speed of light. So that in fact, galaxies which they say are standing still have actually gone beyond where the light can reach us. So they developed this thing they call an observable universe, okay? This concept is absurd on so many different grounds, okay? We know that life grew on Earth from atoms in water and formed compounds, and over just a mere 400 million years. Right. That's about, now I'm confused how old, no, over 4 billion years. So over 4 billion years, life developed on Earth, and we're the end product of phospholipids and chemicals in the ocean. Okay? Now, what I say is that before we got to the nucleon that decays to a proton, to an indestructible proton sac and an indestructible electron sac, you have to excuse me. I might have to continue this later, okay? But this is, we still didn't answer the question. Why should it matter to you? It should matter to you because the physicists are pulling the wool over your eyes. They're telling you a story when they know nothing, okay? Or know a little bit and misuse the little bit that they know, okay? There is a Hubble flow redshift. Hubble never agreed that it was Doppler redshift. So what you do is, if you discount the Hubble flow redshift, if you discount the cosmological redshift, you get something that astrophysicists call peculiar velocities, okay? And you can measure these peculiar velocities against the cosmic microwave background radiation. And what they learned is that not just our local galactic group, not just Earth, not just our solar system, not just our galaxy, not just Andromeda, not just our local galactic group, not just the Virgo Center galactic group, not the Virgo supercluster, not the Laniakea supercluster, okay? All those are moving together at approximately 631 kilometers per second towards the normal cluster. Now, they call this velocity peculiar velocity, while they call the absurd Hubble flow velocity, which is a redshift directly related to how far the light has traveled, okay? So as light travels through 1 billion light years, it's going to encounter matter. That matter is going to make the light diffuse. It's going to redshift the light. So they know that matter redshifts the light. When light goes through water, it travels at 0.75 the speed of light, okay? So matter is going to redshift the light. Then throughout the universe is gravity, okay? There's gravity at the star level. There's gravity at the galaxy level. That's the galaxy at the supercluster level. And this gravity is going to redshift the light as it comes here. And then there's the issue that Zwicky brought up of tired light. Tired light. What that means is if you have very weak light and very strong light, like the light in our solar system is very strong, which is why the Webb telescope is facing away from the sun, and has shields around it. Well, it's going to use thermal sensors instead of visible spectrum. So it's not going to record visible spectrum. The new Webb telescope is going to record thermal differences in temperature and radio frequencies, I guess, and that type of stuff. So we're exploring, but what they do with the new information, the new clues about the origins of the universe, is try to make it to support on impossible, absurd theory, the Big Bang and the expanding universe. So what I'm trying to do in this series and is enlighten you, so that you can understand why the Big Bang theory and the expanding, accelerating universes, which are given as perpetual energy machines. Well, a perpetual energy machine is impossible. You can't keep getting energy out of nothing. Okay, you can only get energy out of something. Okay, since the Big Bang theory is based on a perpetual energy singularity, and even though it was for just a second, okay, all that energy sprang out, but we don't know how it sprang out. You just had a universe of energy and it sprang out, and that energy pulled protons out of vacuum, protons and antiprotons. They immediately annihilate each other, and they say, we don't know. How come we got so much matter in the universe? I'll leave you with that. We'll take it up next time. Talk more later. Bye.